I have been living in this abandoned house for exactly 30 days. It's an old daycare center. Yay! Woo! And somebody broke out a window and then built this makeshift ladder, which is how I access the house. Let me show you how that works. If I live here, I could cause less impact on the planet in general. So that's why I don't mind living in places like this. I don't consider it to be morally dubious in any way, but of course it's illegal, and if I get caught, I could get in trouble. Which doesn't bother me that much. It's just trespassing, but still, you know, you could get shot potentially. You could get killed by a gang of, thugs if they decide to move in here and they catch you here sleeping. That could be bad. Here's where I spend a lot of my time eating. I eat right over here, and I sleep here as well. Here's the bathroom, which I use once in a while. This bathroom, I come in here and I comb my hair, I look in the bathroom, and I try very hard not to be detected by the people that, there's a lot of joggers. This license was last issued in 2005, and the expiration date was 2007, so this place has been unoccupied for about 9 years, roughly. When I first moved in here, I was a little creeped out by a lot of the noises and, the shadows. You know how your imagination plays games, and a lot of those noises were actually raccoons and squirrels. The occasional bird fight on top of the roof. And this is definitely the playground of squirrels, which live in that big fat tree right there. And I haven't really learned to harmonize with them, because they come and go at all hours of the day, and they really bug me and they disturb my sleep. But so far I haven't come up here and kicked them out, which I easily could do just by throwing, like, get out of here. I could do stuff like that, but I don't want to, because they were here first, and I understand that by eating in this house I'm attracting these critters, which is perfectly natural. Anyway, I think I'm going to move out here. I've lived here for 30 days, and I really am feeling the call to the wild. So I've built this shanty just across the street here in a park. If somebody all of a sudden were to pull in here and get out of the car and slam their door, I would probably hear it. So my contingency plan for that, my escape route, is this window over here. Lift this thing up, go out here and hide over there with my bathing supplies. Yeah, I would just stand over here and try to be quiet. This is also where I take a bath. I get my shampoo and my soap, and I get a gallon of water and I pour it over myself. A lot of the toys in this sunroom were not positioned in this exact way, but over the weeks I've begun to relax a little bit more, and when I leave, I basically leave it however. But there's not a whole lot of indicators about anyone who's recently been in here. I try to keep it looking basically the way it did when I first came in, which was like that, basically. I hide things all over the house, and one of the places I hide stuff is right here. And I know exactly where to step so I don't make noise, so that if you step in the wrong place down here, it's going to make a noise like this, which will be heard throughout the house. There is a front door right over here, which you can open, but whoever broke into here originally apparently did not know about this door. So that if somebody opens the door, because it pulls out that in that direction, the wood would fall down, it would make a noise, and moving all this debris would make a noise, and I would hear it. But I don't think most people know about this door. In fact, you know, the kids that were here, I think only came once or twice. Yeah, a bunch of very immature graffiti, basically scribbled with crayons. And some days are better than others, but ordinarily I have to go to great pains and effort to avoid being detected coming and going from the property. The street is so busy that I no longer come in from the street unless it's really late at night and there's no traffic and it's dark. So what I tend to do is I come in through the woods. To the right and to the left of this house there are two very large institutions, and I can come in through the back door of those institutions, but that's trespassing, and it's only a matter of time before I get caught if I continue to do that, I can tell. I mean, there's no houses to the left, to the right, or to the rear of the house, but that street is really busy. And unless it's really late at night, I don't bother to come in that way. And I ordinarily don't take my bike in that way, because if I take my bike in over here and just park it in the woods, that means that I have to leave from here as well, and that is bad. That is very bad, because during the day I just never know when there's going to be cars coming. Sometimes the cars are very quiet. So unless you're 3 or 4 years old and you like to play with toys, or you're an artist that loves free art supply, there's not a whole lot of things in this house that would be of interest to anybody. Here's another favorite hiding place of mine, because what's going to be behind the door, right? I mean, how often do you look behind a door that's closed like this? So that's why I stash a bunch of my stuff here as another hiding place. And then I cover it up as a slight deterrent. I just lay those chairs in front of it and hope for the best. I have electricity, so I could vacuum all this, but then it would look like somebody's living here, right? Haven't touched this guy. He's been there since I've been here. What I have been doing to hide my food is remove this old garbage bag and then put my food underneath the garbage, which I thought was good enough to keep the smell contained and to, of course, hide the food. Because who's going to look underneath a bag of garbage for fresh food, right? I don't know. Nobody that I know. That's pretty much the way that garbage can looked when I first came in. And then there's the very last room where I do a lot of editing. And there's a lot of stuff in this room. A lot of books, arts and crafts. This is the kitchen. I hide things behind doors like this. There's my water stash. And I try to keep things dry. You know, I use the sink. I do use the sink. I mean, there's no plumbing. However, I wash things here, and I have a little, well, it's too dark to see, but I have a bowl down there which catches the water, which I haven't emptied in about 3 weeks. And here is a microwave, which works. Pretty awesome. I also hide things in here, because I didn't look in here for several days after I moved in. There's my coffee stash. One of the biggest problems with living like this is water. I have to haul in my own water unless it rains, which it really hasn't. It's only rained about once, and in which case you can collect water as it drips off the house. So if somebody were to come into this room, they would see that messy table, which, you know, if the vagrants that were in here before were nasty enough, they would have knocked all of this over and smashed all the windows. I mean, yeah, there was a little graffiti and a few things were broken, but not so bad. Not really. I mean, you know, all of this could be completely torn up, and it's not. So what I do is I leave this this table in this condition, but let me show you something. Let me show you how it usually looks. Like this. When I'm here, that is what it looks like, because I do a lot of editing right here. So yeah, if you haven't guessed it already, this place has electricity. And I know why. I know the owners, who they are. And there are a number of houses like this around here that are being left to the wayside. And the owners are deliberating as to whether or not they're going to tear these houses down or develop them. My guess is that these houses will not be restored in any way. And the you know, the house is falling into ruin because I don't believe anyone has bothered with maintenance. So yeah, if I hear a noise, what I would do is just shut my computer, grab this, cover it up here, and then run out here, going out here to where we've already been, and right out this window, if I have time.